Guess who? That's right, friends. It's good old Tokyo Joe here, coming at you almost live from Tokyo Midtown, Tokyo Town in the land of Japan. That's right, friends. The land of Japan. Yeah, Tokyo Joe's been away doing stuff, but I'm back. And I gotta say, I've been watching a few of you vloggers. There are many vloggers coming up onto the YouTube. It's very good. Now, as y'all know, Tokyo Joe's got a lot of love for everyone out there in Tokyo Town in the land of Japan. Even if you do live down in the boondocks down in Yokohama or up in, way up there in the boondocks up at Nagoya or Osaka or way out there in Fukuoka, or if you're really unlucky, you're living way out there in places like Omiya. Well, I got a lot of love for you, and I just want to say a big shout out to my friend Mully and his wife. You know, a lot of people ask me, Tokyo Joe, are you married to a Japanese girl? And I say, nope. But I got one sitting on my lap. Look at the photo, friends. And that's good enough for me. Oh yeah. You know, I'm too old to get married. It's been many years since I lived with my wife. And we don't live together no more, but we still see each other. That's my fourth wife. I had four. Over many decades, of course, you get to build it up, and sometimes you have one, two, three. I happen to have four. I have friends who have 6 or 7 wives over their lifetime. Some of those marriages only lasted 6 months to a year, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, getting back on topic, big shout out to Mully and his wife. I got a question for you, Mr. Mully. Do you drive a Humvee, a Hummer? Because I think I've seen you around Tokyo Town with a big ass Hummer. It's the kind of car made by Jeep. You know the car, it's a big one. Big enough for a big lad just like you. And do you have a big dog? If you do not, I'd like to know. Who is the man with the big dog and the Hummer drives around Tokyo Town? I see him around the place. Also, Mully, tell me, when are you coming to Tokyo to visit Tokyo Joe? Because I think we could make a show together. I think it'd be real nice. Oh yeah. I could give you a tour of the beautiful Roppongi crossing with all the hookers and the people coming in from Europe looking for the hookers and stuff. It's a real nice area. Yeah, I think you should bring your parents and your kids. It's a real nice area of Tokyo Town. And of course, lots of my friends, my brothers from the continent of Africa are here as well. Now I'm sure they'll ask you whether or not you want a bowl of titties, because that's what they do. In fact, I could probably see some right outside my apartment here in Tokyo Midtown right now if I craned my neck and had a look. Yeah, Roppongi, center of the civilized world, my friend. You should come up here and we could do a show together. It's a shame you missed out on the Tokyo Whiskey Live this year, but there's always next year, right? Okay, also, Mully, I got a question for you. What would you like Tokyo Joe to talk about? Because as y'all know, Tokyo Joe talks about a lot of topics about living in Tokyo and living the dream life in Tokyo Town you always wanted. And you might ask yourself, Mr. Mully, why? Why is Tokyo Joe talking about Tokyo Town? Well, that's very easy, my friends. For those of you who don't know much about Japan, you're Japan noobs, there are 2 places in town, my friends. 2 places in the land of Japan. Right? And one of them is the rest of Japan, and the other one is the only place to be if you're coming to Japan. And that, my friends, is good old Tokyo Town. That's right, good old Tokyo Town. Two places in Japan, my friends, Tokyo and not Tokyo. So, Mr. Mully, I got a question. What would you like Tokyo Joe to talk about? I talk about retiring in Japan. I talk about having to be successful in Japan. Have you seen my videos? What do you think? Maybe you think I'm right, maybe you think I'm wrong. I talk about the different types of gaijins that come here. And I talk about the low rent gaijins that come here or want to come here. I also talk about how to be a successful English teacher, how to get a Japanese girlfriend, how to find a cheap apartment, how much it costs to live a dream life in Tokyo Town you always wanted. And I talk about the ESL industry because that's very fascinating. Because most of the kids I talk to these days, they email me for the advice. Most of them want to teach the English. So what do you think, Mr. Mully? You got any questions for good old Tokyo Joe? You send them my way, I'll answer them. Okay, everyone. Take care. Peace. Tokyo Joe's out.